Shotgun Mary. Cool name. Why do they call you that?
I drink a lot.
Sometimes life just changes right out from under you, you know?
Yeah, there's something special about her.
She's great. Really stable.
Find that girl.
Hey everyone, this is Aurora, folks from The Nocturnal, and today we are virtually sitting down with Toya Turner of Netflix's newest sci-fi fantasy drama, Warrior Nun. How are you feeling today, Toya?
I'm really good, thank you.
That's
How are
good.
you?
I'm doing good despite everything going on, just hanging in there like everyone else.
Great.
So firstly, I actually just want to say congratulations to you on nabbing your first series leading role as Shotgun Mary in Warrior Nun.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, that's great. That's awesome. So my first question is just about your start into acting. I know that you held a number of roles in television, such as Fox's Empire and also on Chicago Med, but you also got a major part of your start in acting in theater. So I know you were in A Raisin in the Sun as well as Romeo and Juliet. But can you talk to me about what your transition was like between going from stage to screen?
I found myself having to take improv classes so I can be a little bit more quicker, especially because a lot of my on-screen started off in commercials.
Oh, okay.
So I needed to be quick on my feet. So I just started training as much as I could. And doing improv because it helps. It always helps. It helps me get out of any jam whether I'm on stage, on a set, anytime. So it just helps you think quick on your feet, I guess.
And I'm sure you having to think quick on your feet definitely played into your role as Shotgun Mary on Warrior Nun. But it's definitely probably a different role that you've had from the past. So I know Mary is a part of the Order of the Cruciform Sword, which appears to be a group of nuns that are ordinary by day, but by night they're sparring, they're sharpening like a variety of knives and swords to battle demons with. So what were your first reaction? What was your thoughts when you first got the script?
I first got this script and I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is really cool. It was sci-fi fantasy and I'm very interested in that. Please let me escape once, please. Which is why I love it. And there was some nice life things going on there too. I don't know, some beautiful moments that at the time, it made me say, oh, okay. And I just read it and loved it and did the audition and sent it off and yeah.
It's really, really cool. No, I mean, it's actually even more, it's like another cool aspect to me I found was that Warrior Nun is actually adapted from the original manga style comic called Warrior Nun Aurelia. Were you very familiar with the comic or were you into comics before?
I was into comics a little bit. I've definitely gotten into it more since booking the show. I checked out the comic books. I never heard of it before getting the script. And I checked it out and Googled it and I was like, oh, okay. Yes, this is the costume. Mm-hmm.
I know, yeah. That was the other thing I noticed. I was like,
risque, okay. Thankfully they gave us grace so we could, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I did see there were some moderations that they tried to put into the actual show that was different from the comics. So I thought that was also something kind of cool that they made it a little more modern and more up to speed with where we are today. But what kind of inspiration did you feel like you drew from to really kind of connect to your character?
Angela Bassett, always. That's the ultimate warrior, queen, mother all the time. I pulled a lot from Serena Williams. There's just different forms of warriors to me. And then of course, Pam Grier and Foxy Brown. Pam, you know what I mean? Yes. I was like, okay, let's get into it. I was like, yeah, this gun is Foxy and this gun is Jackie and the Browns. You know what I mean? I was like,
oh yeah.
Pam Grier is she's everything.
Definitely. Yeah. Those are actually really great inspirations to draw from because they're very much like an embodiment of that kind of character or different parts of that character. But being that Warrior Nun was adapted from that 90s comic book turned into a live action series, Did you feel like any challenge or any type of hesitation into jumping into a project that may have already had like an established fan base who's already kind of used to those particular characters?
No. No, I was like, let's go.
You were ready to
Let's,
go.
yeah, I was like, oh, you made Shotgun Mary a Black woman, really? I'm like, of course, let's go. It's a comic book, of course I want to be a part of this. And let's show them that it can be something else, you know? So it just made me want to do it even more.
That's awesome. Yeah, I did notice that in the original comic, Shotgun Mary character, I believe she was a white woman. So I thought that was also a nice twist that they did where they race swapped, which is really cool.
Yeah,
But yeah,
uh, it could have been a risk, it could have been like a tricky risk for them to do, but they did it. And I'm very thankful.
so it
So
definitely worked. It definitely worked, I believe. And I know you said that you didn't feel it was a challenge, but I don't know. When I saw the trailer, the newly released trailer, I saw you like knock some guys out with like not one, but two hefty shotguns. And this
yeah.
is while sometimes riding a motorcycle. And this is not even counting your like hand-to-hand combat scenes. So what was your like training experience like for you on set?
Oh, you mean those challenges? Okay. Oh, yes, those challenges. It was the most active I have probably been in my life since dodgeball in the 5th grade. You know what I mean? Boxing every day, anywhere from maybe 2 hours, 2, 3 hours, riding back and forth on a motorcycle, first learning how to make sure that I can keep balance and not fall off. Gun training, 1 hour every day, and then my own physical activity I had to do. Also, Spain does not really mess with elevators. It's a lot of steps. So, yeah.
That's intense. That really sounds really intense. And I imagine that the shotgun had a lot of kickback. I mean, I've never shot one, but I can imagine it's like just a really heavy duty thing to kind of work with.
It's oh my goodness, the shake in my arms when on some of the parts, because most of the parts you cannot use the because there was maybe like 7 different guns and they all varied in weight, because you can't really hit someone in the head with one. It has to be extremely floppy,
Oh,
almost like a clown shotgun, right? But most of the shots you can't use that because they want you to actually fire it, or they want to shoot inside the barrel of the gun. So yeah, yeah. That's how it was my first couple of shoots.
well, it looked like you had a great handle on it, definitely for sure. And I also kind of want to jump into talking about the ancient order of the literal ass kicking nuns, which are two words that I would never kind of put together normally. I do see that Mary fights off a lot of demons alongside her sisters Beatrice, Lilith, and Camilla, and now the new Halo bearer who's Ava. And you guys really kind of seem to embody that sisterhood kind of essence of working together. Can you talk to me about what it was just like for you guys working together as a whole on set?
Um, on set, we were there for each other, especially uh, me and the other sisters, because they spoke Spanish. So they were just like, they were always looking out for me, making sure that I understood stuff, was able to order, to helping me along the way, helping me with the language. We had each other and we needed each other for sure, because the days where we were all experiencing this type of role, a lead role like this for the first time. So yeah, we just had each other's back.
That's awesome. And it's great that you guys could all experience, like you said, that lead role for the first time together. So it's like a new experience for everybody. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And just another thing I noticed in the trailer, we got a quick glimpse of the Order fighting these really gigantic, red-eyed, straight from the pits of hell demons who are ready to attack, especially when it comes to getting Ava. What was it like shooting those type of scenes together?
Bizarre, because there's nothing there. It was bizarre at first, but it really tests you, because if you're going to have fear, or if you're going to have a reaction to something that's not there, it kind of tests the acting skills. You have to pull from somewhere. But it was it was very cool to see it all come together and to see how they did it. The magic behind it, the little tricks that they do. But yeah, there's nothing there. It's just, it's nothing there. But yeah, learning it was great. Doing it was really, really fun.
Well, whatever they used to kind of put all that like film action together, it was amazing because it looks really, really great on screen. I was like, this is crazy. So you guys looked great doing it. And also I noticed that the series follows Ava, it was played by Alba Batista, and she gets like a new lease on life after dying. And then she kind of comes back to life in a nunnery with a halo burned into her back, and she's surrounded by all these weapon-wielding nuns. How does your character specifically kind of come into play throughout all of this?
Let's see. I guess she's kind of like, she's the protector of the warrior nun. You know, she's the number 2. She puts her life on the line to guard them.
Yeah.
And when it's coming along with Alba's character, Ava, it's kind of showing her the ropes of how she can be, you know, the warrior nun. So leading her, guiding her in a way, and also protecting her from anything until she's, because she's precious, you know, she's precious at OCS. So I have to guard her by any means. So that's just, I have to on her. It kind of reminds me of like the Terminator.
Ah, yes, yes.
Like just making sure that she's safe. So yeah.
I could definitely see that kind of vibe. I can definitely see that, especially between those two characters. But do you feel like would you consider Shotgun Mary to be like lean more towards like the hero or like more towards the anti-hero in the series?
Oh, I don't think Shotgun Mary thinks of herself as a hero.
Okay.
I really don't. I don't think she thinks of herself that way. People might feel like she is, but I don't think she is. She wouldn't call herself that. So I don't know, I guess. I don't know. I don't think she's a hero, but I don't think she's an anti-hero either, if that makes sense.
No,
Yeah. It's really tricky. She's just being, you know what I mean? Like she knows that she has something to do and she's gonna finish it to the end. So that's it. Yeah.
I definitely see that, and she's definitely playing that role of like guarding Ava and making sure that she's expressing her loyalty to her sisterhood. So she's kind of somewhere in between that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think she's like in the middle for sure.
Definitely. Okay. Another thing I wanted to address was that I was on Twitter for Warrior Nun, and I saw a picture of some of the writers for the Warrior Nun series, and the room just looked so culturally diverse, and there was such like a large representation of women on board, which is really pretty similar to the cast. But can you describe what it was like? Why was it so important for you to be a part of a show that depicts a range of different women in these like very strong, powerful leading roles?
The fact that we have, I think out of 11 or 10 cast members, 6 or 7 of them are women. That's already different. I think it's just important to have different perspectives, to have different storytelling. So to see this and to see, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a woman, this is a woman, this is a woman. Anything that is woman forward, woman centric, and diverse, I want to do it. I have to do it. I need to do it. And I want more of it, you know?
I agree, definitely. And I thought that was just a really cool thing for them to just have in the show. And I love shows that are so forward thinking that way. And I feel like they really kind of embodied that, where they have like, I think one of the lead characters is a head scientist and she's a woman, as well as one of the more like badass warrior nuns, like the high priestess, I would say, she's also a woman as well. So I really like they kind of had them in the forefront.
Right, I was saying that. I was like, this role would normally be a man. Yeah, right. I keep saying that. Like, oh, this would be a man. There would be maybe 1, maybe 2, but this would definitely be a man. Yeah, I love that. I love that we're spinning it on his head, because it gets boring. If you keep doing the same thing, just do something different. See how it goes. It's okay. It's okay. Women can be bad guys. And that's another thing, women being villains and women being bad guys. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's all right. You know, we don't have to be nurturing all the time. It's all right. But yeah.
No, they definitely, and I like that too. They also had, I mean, from what the viewers will see, I know right now they're just seeing the trailer. I was able to see a couple episodes, which was really, really great. But I like that they're actually putting women in these different, like non-stereotypical type roles, so people can just see a different type of representation on screen.
Yes, it's very, very important. I think the roles that I've seen in the past 5 years, they have just changed so drastically. Not just for women, but like Black people, Black women, you know, it's a change, and we need more. We need more. Yeah. But it's been nice to see. It has.
The work is never done. I definitely agree with that, for sure. Now, for those who are out there who have never seen this kind of comic book adaptation, or who are out there just clutching their rosary beads because they may not be sure what this is about, since it's so heavy on religion, but also the demons and different aspects of that, all that all together, what do you feel like they can expect to see from Warrior Nun on July 2nd?
Oh, well, of course, they're going to see some, you know, some demon ass kicking, of course, fight between good and evil. But there's some beautiful, beautiful themes, and there's some undertones going on: sisterhood, chosen family, community, like first life experiences, like how do you enjoy life? How do you, they touch on a lot of things. They do. Me being one of the only Black women in the cast, like the Black character of the show, they touch on some real truths with that too. So I just think it's gonna be a lot of fun, a lot of heart. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I definitely took that away from it, but what do you want the viewers especially to take away from the series?
What would I like them to take away from the series? I don't know, that women are badass too. Yeah.
That's right.
Badass too. They can take that away from it. Yeah. And rock with Mary. Yeah. I want Shotgun Mary. Come on.
Definitely. She's definitely a standout character and definitely not one note. So that was really cool. And I think a lot of the viewers are really going to see that and take to that as well, seeing that type of representation on screen. So yeah. I just say thank you so much for your time with us. And I look forward to seeing the show July 2nd.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.